Hello. Today I'll demonstrate disassembling a 9 millimeter dummy cartridge, taking measurements, drawing a scale copy, and weighing the projectile. Hello, for this video we will be taking apart an inert dummy round here. As you can tell, it doesn't have a blasting cap or any powder inside. In order to do that, you'll have to use your hammer, a collet holder, and then a collet itself. And the collet is what holds on to the projectile and make sure that you keep a hold of your case and drops the round in. You do have to size them to make sure that it fits in there, but when you do, it is pretty perfect. There we go. All right, what you're going to do next is you're going to place it in your collet holder and then screw it on ever so loosely. You want to make sure it's a little loose, that way you have room to fit your projectile or dummy round into this, and then it locks in like so, and then you just tighten it in and then find a hard place to hit your hammer on so that it is able to catch your projectile. Sometimes, as you can see, it takes a little force to be able to get it off, but once you have that, you can take off your collet holder, and then you can see your case completely fine. And then what you want to do is you want to take a tray or something along those lines to catch your projectile, and then if this were a live round, you'd have all of your powder and such there. As you can see, now we've got all the components of this dummy profile or dummy projectile with your projectile and then your cartridge itself. In this part, we're going to go over the projectile and case measurements. We're going to go over the length, the diameter for the projectile, and then we're going to go over the case diameter with the rim, the head, the body, the shoulder, and the neck. Right now, as you can see, I've already got the projectile kind of set up in the micromillimeter here to make it a little easier to start off with. As we're going to go through, we're going to make sure we have our locking bar down to make sure that our micromillimeter doesn't like shift or move or do anything like that. And then we're going to count over to the biggest exposed number here on the base. And we're going to see that's a 3. Then we're going to count however many dashes are in there as well. And there's 2. So that's at a 0.05. And then we're going to look at this big number up here. As you can see, there's a 5 right there, which means this is a 4. So it's a 0.004. So to add it all up, that's a 0.300, a 0.050, and then a 0.004. To add it all up, that's 0.354. Next here, we've got the projectile's length. As you can see, we go all the way out to the exposed number, which is 5, and then we count the empty spaces in here, which is 2. And then we look over here and we see that 5's up there, so we're looking at a 6. So that adds out to a 0.500 plus a 0.020 plus a 0.006. To add that all up, it ends up to a 0.526 for the projectile length. Next, we're going to start working on the case itself. So right here, we've got it securely locked in. We'll do the same thing we've been doing with the projectile. We'll find the biggest number that we can see, which is the 3. So it's a 0.300. And then we're going to go on to the smaller measurement, which is, you can see 3 lines. So that'd be 0.075, and then we'll go over here to the exact measurement, and that's a 10, 11, 12. So that's a 0.012. You add that all that up to a 0.387. Next, we've got the case length. In this, you'll see 7 is our exposed with 2 dash marks that you can see. So that's a 0.700 plus a 0.050 plus, as you can see, a 20 right there. So we'll count up 1, 2, 3. So that's 0.023 to add up for a grand total of 0.773. All right, for this one, we've got our rim real quick. Actually, hold on. Right here, we've got our rim placed in and locked. We'll do the same exact thing we've been doing. So the biggest number you can see is that 3 plus 3 hash marks. So that's 0.300 and then 0.075. And then we'll look over here. That 15 is the last addition with a 0.015, which equals out to a 0.389. Next, we've got the neck up here, and the measurements are 0.300 with a 3 dash marks, so that's a 0.075 with a 5 at the end, so that's a 0.005, which equals out to a even 0.38. This is where we'll kind of go over each of the scaled measurements that we achieved with the micrometer. So the first one is the overall width, which is a 0.387. All right. And then back here at our rim was a 0.389. That's it. And then we'll go with, hold on, let me close these brackets a little bit. The overall length of the casing was a 0.777. And then the neck measurement on top of these was a 0.38. And then we'll move over to the projectile itself with its length at 0.526. And then the diameter of everything with a 0.354. And that is all the measurements to the 9mm Luger. For this next part, we're going to demonstrate the proper method for finding a projectile's weight using this Lyman scale. In order to do that, you got to turn this on and then zero it out and make sure it is on grain. That way you know for sure. You can take your projectile and place it right on top of the scale, and then you can, as you can see, it is currently at 115 grain.